Hi, everyone. If you are new to my Facebook page or to my YouTube channel, my name is Ginger Pierce. I am a travel agent with Marvelous Mouse Travels, which is an authorized earmarked platinum Disney vacation planner. And just earlier this morning, I did a webinar with Disney with training on the brand new Disney Genie system. And so I'm going to share with you everything that I have learned from Disney this morning. And hopefully, if you have a trip planned or if you're thinking about planning a trip, maybe this will help you decide if Disney Genie is for you or not. I have my husband, Evan, here with me today, who's going to be helping me by kind of popping questions up. Want to say hi?
Hope everybody's doing well.
Yeah. So if there are any questions at all, feel free to drop those in the comments, and I will try to come through and get to as many of those as I possibly can today. Evan, you can hang out on screen if you want, or you can jump backstage. It's totally up to you.
I'll jump backstage until we get a comment. But we do have Sam. 60 days. He's going to be there. That's what I'm talking about. That's exciting, Sam.
Super exciting. Definitely. All right, so let's start off by just kind of giving an overview of what Disney Genie is. And if you have not followed my blog and subscribed to my blog, I did a full write-up on when Disney Genie was first released a couple of months ago. So you can check that out at GingerMMT.com if you would like to have some of this information in kind of like a written form that you can come back and refer to later on. Obviously, I got new information today that wasn't available at the time that I did that blog post. So I'll probably be updating that in the next couple of days. But, for now, it'll be good to kind of come on and tell you what I do know at this point in time. So Disney Genie, as I said in that blog post, is really three separate components. Okay. There is the complimentary Disney Genie system. There is Disney Genie Plus, which is a paid upgrade. And then there are individual attraction selections, which are also a paid upgrade. So I'll give an overview of all of those three options and kind of how they can work together, but don't necessarily have to. And then at the end, I'll talk about kind of how I, as a travel professional, can help you sort through those options and can help you understand how to build your best Disney trip that's going to fit with your budget and your interests. So let's talk first about that complimentary Disney Genie system. So Disney Genie is an in-app feature of the My Disney Experience app. So in order to take advantage of this feature, you are going to need to make sure that you have a compatible smartphone and that you have the app, the My Disney Experience app for Walt Disney World downloaded on your phone. Now, this information that I'm sharing today is specific to Walt Disney World. Disneyland's version of Disney Genie is going to be coming out later on in the fall. We will get more information about that when that becomes available, and we'll come on and do this again for Disneyland. But everything that I'm talking about today is going to be specific to just Walt Disney World. But Disney Genie's in-app feature is something that comes with your theme park admission, whether you are an on-site guest, you're a ticket-only guest staying off-site, everybody can use this free feature. And it's essentially an experience guide. And there are a couple of different components to it. You can tell Disney Genie either on the day of your trip, or you can even set certain aspects of this up in advance. You can tell it the types of things that you're interested in. So maybe you're interested in thrill rides, or maybe you're not interested in thrill rides. Maybe you're interested in pirates or princesses or Star Wars or whatever the case may be. You can put those interests. Maybe you even know which specific rides you want to take part on, or shows you want to take part in. You can put all of that stuff into Disney Genie, and it will take into account on the day of your trip forecasted wait times, whether or not a ride has broken down, your dining reservations that you've made in advance, mobile, the wait for mobile orders at some of the quick service locations. It takes all of that into account, and it creates a list of suggestions for you, kind of your best Disney day on what the wait times look like that day, crowd levels, the things that you're interested in, the plans that you've already made, and stuff like that. Now, again, these are suggestions. These are not reservations. So if you want a specific dining reservation, that is still something that you have to book in advance, or your travel agent can book that in advance for you if you're working with somebody. But it will take things like that into account and give you a list of suggestions. If you you don't like the suggestions that it's given to you, you can kind of let it know. It'll readjust. It'll throw something else up there for you. So for someone who is maybe on their first Disney vacation, I can see that daily itinerary in Disney Genie being really, really helpful. If you are someone, though, who is, a pro at Disney, who has been many times, you might find yourself more interested in the tips board, because the tips board is going to give you, quick access to things like wait times at different attractions, quick access to, suggestions for, here's how long the wait is at Pecos Bill or something like that versus how long the wait is over at Casey's Corner or something. So that tips board is something that you can just kind of pull up and refer to it when you want to, rather than it being like a crafted itinerary. So you have a lot of flexibility in terms of how you use this complimentary feature. You can, refer to it consistently throughout the day and follow everything it tells you to do, or you can just kind of pull up that tips board when you need it. And it puts together a lot of the features that are already in the app, but it just makes them a little bit more easily accessible. So for instance, virtual queue, you'll be able to join virtual queues for available attractions right through the Genie, instead of having to kind of scroll down on the homepage and find it now. You will be able to check in for your dining reservations there. You'll be able to mobile order at quick service locations. You can even talk to a virtual assistant. So if you have a quick question like, hey, what time is the next cavalcade? You can ask that. It'll pop up the answer for you. You don't have to use this complimentary system at all. If you would prefer to put together your own itinerary, you are still 100% free to do that. But if you would like to have just a little bit of extra help, and something that can in real time adjust to things like a ride breakdown or something like that, then Disney Genie can be a really good option. So that is the aspect of this system that is complimentary for all guests. Now we're going to talk a little bit about those paid optional upgrades. Okay. Now, we all know FastPass Plus used to be complimentary at Walt Disney World. When you have a complimentary system of, kind of skip the line access, what that does, in my opinion, for what it's worth, is that it slows down some of those standby wait times for everybody who maybe didn't have a fast pass for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train or something like that. So, Disney took into account a lot of guest feedback. Guests didn't like having to book fast passes in advance, 30 days in advance or 60, depending on whether you're on site or off site. They wanted a little bit more flexibility kind of in the moment, in the day. And so that is why Disney decided to eliminate that free system and to replace it with a paid upgrade that not everybody is going to go for. So hopefully you're not going to see as large of a backlog in some of those standby lines. You could, I don't know. We'll kind of see how this plays out once it gets going. But you're also going to have a little bit more flexibility to make decisions on the day of. So if you plan a more impromptu trip, like maybe, 3 weeks or 2 weeks out, you still have a choice. You still have a chance at getting skip the line passes for some attractions, even though you didn't book it, a couple of months in advance. So Disney Genie Plus is an optional add-on. There's a couple of different ways you can add it on. If you have a ticket-only booking, you can add it on when you purchase your tickets through your travel professional, or if you purchase those online, you can add it for your length of your visit for $15 per ticket per day. Okay. If you want to do it that way, you can. If you just want to purchase Disney Genie Plus for one day of your vacation and not your length of stay, you can do that on the day of your visit directly through the app. Okay, so that's the first way you can add Disney Genie. If you have a package, if you have a vacation package, which includes, hotel stay, tickets, you can also add it in advance for the length of your stay for $15 per ticket per day. Or just like with ticket only, if you only want to have Disney Genie Plus for one day of your vacation or 2 days, you can do an individual purchase through the app on the day of if you want to do that. So what does that $15 per ticket per day get you? It gets you access to book arrival time windows. Okay. On the day of your visit to the park, you can schedule a reserved time to show up at a particular ride and go through something called the lightning lane, which is essentially the replacement for the fast pass lane as it used to be. So you're bypassing that standby line. You're getting to wait in a shorter line. You can hold one Disney Genie Plus arrival window booking at a time. Okay. And once you use your first one, you can move on. You can make another one. You can continue making them throughout that park day, one at a time. And as soon as you've used one, you can come back and use another one. So this is a lot like Disney's Max Pass system over at Disneyland, which is a fan favorite. Guests have been really really huge fans of that for years. And so now we're seeing something very similar being implemented at Walt Disney World. And so the rides and attractions that this will get you access to, you have the option to enter the lightning lane through, are really familiar attractions. I have a full list here that I'm going to refer to because there's no way that I was going to remember all of this off the top of my head. But in Magic Kingdom, you can do included in the Disney Genie Plus system is Big Thunder Mountain Railway, Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger Spin, Dumbo, Haunted Mansion, It's a Small World, Jungle Cruise, The Mad Tea Party, The Magic Carpets of Aladdin, Mickey's PhilharMagic, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, Peter Pan's Flight, Pirates of the Caribbean, Splash Mountain, The Barnstormer, Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Tomorrowland Speedway, and Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid. Over at Epcot, included are the Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival, Journey into Imagination with Figment, Living with the Land, Mission Space, both the orange and the green sides, Soaring Around the World, Spaceship Earth, Test Track, The Seas with Nemo and Friends, and Turtle Talk with Crush. Over in Hollywood Studios is Alien Swirling Saucers, Beauty and the Beast live on stage, Disney and Pixar Disney Junior, Play and Dance. I'm having a hard time seeing this because it's very, very small font and I do not have my glasses on. Let's see here. I believe this is I can't tell. It's too small. The Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. You also have the Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run. That's a really big one. Muppet Vision 3D. Slinky Dog Dash, Rock and Roller Coaster, Star Tours, Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, Toy Story Mania. I believe that the one that I couldn't read might be the Frozen Sing-Along Celebration, but I will have to verify that one for sure and maybe put it in the comments later because I can't tell because it is very, very small font. But over at Animal Kingdom, we have the Celebration, the Festival of the Lion King, Dinosaur, It's Tough to Be a Bug, Kali River Rapids, Kilimanjaro Safaris, Navi River Journey, the Animation Experience, and the Feathered Friends in Flight show. So those, again, are the options with that first paid option, that $15 per day option, which is Disney Genie Plus. Now, a couple of caveats to that. You cannot book the same attraction twice in the same day. So if my first ride that I book my Disney Genie Plus arrival time for is Haunted Mansion, I can't book a second one for Haunted Mansion later in the day. Okay. I would have to, if I want to ride Haunted Mansion again, I would have to wait in the standby line and, go through it. And I can ride it in the standby line as many times as I want to, but you're limited to one lightning lane use per attraction with this Disney Genie Plus. So I'm going to move on now and talk a little bit about, I have company.
So real quick, we've had a few people chime in. Katie said, hey, Katie.
Hey, Katie.
Marcia said, hi, Ginger.
Hi.
And our friend Nathan from YouTube gave his usual statement for us. Good to have you again, Nathan. And Sam said, I like the fact that you don't have to pick all your time frames before you get to the park. That's a good point.
Yeah. And I think that was the whole idea behind this, was just to give people a little bit more flexibility on the day of and not have to do as much advanced planning of like when you're going to ride a specific ride. So there's obviously still some advanced planning that goes into planning a Disney trip, but when it comes to the actual rides and the order that you're going to do them in, you have a little bit more flexibility with the system. And I really like that too. That was one thing that I enjoyed very much with the reopening period, is there were no, ride passes that you could schedule. And so you could just kind of go through and do things in the order that you wanted to. And I see that potentially being an option with this system as well. So let's move on and talk about those individual attraction selections. Now, this is also an added purchase. However, you don't have to have purchased Disney Genie Plus to be able to purchase an individual attraction selection. Okay. So you can purchase both, but you are not required to purchase both. You could purchase Disney Genie and not do individual attraction selections, or you could just do individual attraction selections and not purchase Disney Genie Plus. It's really flexible. It's completely up to you. But your individual attraction selections are going to be essentially what used to be those tier 1 fast passes. Okay. The rides in the parks that are the most popular, the most in demand. And this is an in-app feature purchase that you would make on the day of your park visit. And you can purchase a maximum of 2 individual attraction passes per day. Okay. And these are attractions that are not included in the Disney Genie Plus system. So these are completely separate rides. You're not going to be able to get access to their lightning lanes if you just go with Disney Genie Plus. You would have to purchase these individual attraction selection passes in order to go through their lightning lane. And so I'll tell you the list of rides, if I can read it, for each park. But for Magic Kingdom, it is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, of course, and Space Mountain. For Epcot, it is the brand new Remy's Ratatouille Adventure and Frozen Ever After. For Hollywood Studios, it's Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, which is very exciting for a lot of people who were stressed out by having to try to get a virtual queue spot back when they were doing the virtual queue for that ride. Now you can purchase it and have a guaranteed time to show up and ride that. Also included at Hollywood Studios is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And over at Animal Kingdom, we have Avatar Flight of Passage and Expedition Everest. So, and I didn't mention this with Disney Genie Plus, but it is also true for the Disney Genie Plus attractions, as it is true for these individual attraction passes. It is subject to availability. Okay. So the arrival windows that you book are going to be dependent upon what is available at the time. So, there is a little bit of strategy involved to something like that. You want to be careful the times at which you're booking those. And that's something that a travel agent would be able to advise you on as to the timing of when you want to try to do things. But also too, just know that, things may not necessarily be available in the order that you want to do them. And so you just have to kind of be flexible with that and just know that you do have access to this system, but you are going to still have to book those arrival windows based on availability. And so it still is important to be early to the party on the day of your park visit and try to get in and do this as early as possible so that you do have more availability at the time that you're booking versus, waiting until a little bit later in the day. But that's the individual attraction selections. That is not something that you can add onto your vacation package or your ticket purchase. That is something that you have to do in the app on the day that you're there. So that's a different system than the Disney Genie Plus system. So the last thing that I'll talk about is Disney Genie and your travel agent. How does working with a travel advisor go together with all of this new Disney Genie stuff? And I will say that there are several things about the system that it's going to be absolutely invaluable to have the advice of a travel advisor, someone who knows Disney well, and who is experienced in working in Disney's online systems, as well as just knowing the layout of their parks and the things that are there for you, that are available for you to do, because there is quite a bit of onus put on you as the consumer now to take a little bit more ownership over crafting your Disney day. And so you're going to want to lean on your travel professional to kind of give you the expertise that you're going to need to make sure that you are putting together things that you're really truly going to enjoy doing to get the most out of your time in the parks. So how are some ways that your travel agent can help you with this whole Disney Genie thing? Well, first of all, explaining it, I think, because there are a lot of moving pieces to this. I took pages and pages of notes today in this online webinar. And so shrunk them down to try to make them fit in a smaller space. But, we really are trained by Disney to be experts in things like this so that we can hopefully help you navigate these changes and help you understand how to get the best use out of a system like this. So just explaining the differences, explaining your options is the first way that your travel professional can help you with Disney Genie. The second is that we can help you add this to your package. So if you have an existing booking with an agent, your agent is going to be able to add Disney Genie Plus on for you if you want to do it for your length of stay. Same thing if you booked your tickets through an agent, they're going to be able to add that on to modify your ticket purchase so that you can take advantage of this new system. Agents can advise you through the onboarding process for Disney Genie. When you are going into the complimentary Disney Genie, which anyone can use, there are certain preferences that you can set and certain things that you can tell Genie that you want to do. You can wait and set that up on the day that you arrive, but you can also do elements of that in advance. And so your travel agent is a really trusted resource to be able to talk about, well, here's the deal with dinosaur. It sounds really fun, but if your kids are scared of jump scares or the dark, it's probably not a good ride for you. Like that type of information that you're not necessarily going to get on a website or on an app. You're going to get that insider information about, here's what my kids enjoy when we go to the parks. Here's our favorite places to eat. Here's, so on and so forth. So having somebody to kind of bounce ideas off of as you're putting together your list of what you might want to put into that onboarding process is invaluable. And we can provide you, you're dealing with years of experience of people who have done the parks many times and can help you put in your preferences accordingly to what they think you're really going to enjoy. Agents can still assist with helping you book dining reservations. Dining reservations, as of right now, are still being booked 60 days out from your date of check-in if you are an on-site hotel guest, and 60 days out from each individual day of your vacation if you're an off-site hotel guest. So we're still booking dining reservations. That is something that Disney Genie takes into account, is the dining reservations that you have made in advance. So your travel agent can still provide restaurant recommendations, take care of all of that stuff for you, and it will integrate seamlessly with Disney Genie, which is really exciting. Same thing for experience attractions like lightsaber builds, droid builds, and different things like that. We can also help you choose the perfect package components. So if you are trying to figure out where to stay, what type of ticket you want, is Disney Genie worth it for you? That's the sort of questions that a travel agent can help you sort through. We also still monitor for discounts and apply eligible discounts even after you've booked at a higher rate to hopefully bring the price of your vacation down. There's lots of ways that your travel advisor is going to be able to work with you through these online systems and help you navigate the ever-changing world of Disney vacations. So I hope that has been helpful to kind of give you a broad overview of Disney Genie. There is more information that I didn't share in this video just because the minutia of it might get a little bit overwhelming. But, there are specific times that things can be purchased and booked with these paid upgrades. And that can vary dependent on whether or not you're an offsite hotel guest or you're staying at a Disney-owned hotel. So if you have questions about things like that, that would be the sort of thing that I would refer you to your chosen travel professional for. Or if you are looking for someone to help you book your vacation, then you would definitely feel free to go over to GingerMMT.com, which is my blog. And there is a quote form linked in the upper left-hand corner if you want to look at, pricing for a vacation. And then we could always work through those different elements and options together. Yes.
So we had one more comment. Okay. Let's see. Our good friend Carrie said, this is so helpful. Thank you, Carrie. Awesome. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And I just I wrote down my questions during it. So, sure. So just to clarify, you can have a maximum of 2 individual attractions per day. Is that correct?
Yes, for those individual selection passes, like the top tier rides, maximum of 2 per day, per person.
Okay, and so like in Animal Kingdom, there were only 2 attractions that would qualify, correct? So, I mean, that's a pretty easy choice for that one.
Yeah, same thing with Magic Kingdom. Let's look at that list again, actually. There are only 2 in every park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the only time that you would have to make a choice would be if you have a park hopper ticket, and, maybe you're starting in Animal Kingdom, but you're ending up in Epcot, then, you would have to decide, do I wanna use both of mine in Animal Kingdom, or do I want to save one for when I get to Epcot and I wanna ride Ratatouille or something like that?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so, like in Magic Kingdom, it was Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Space Mountain, the other one. So let's say that you really want to ride Seven Dwarfs, but you're not really jazzed about Space Mountain. You don't have to get both, do you?
You don't. You can only do one because they're per pass. So, and pricing is one thing we didn't talk about. Pricing is going to vary based on the attraction and also the date. So, for instance, sample pricing that they gave us for the first day that this system is available, which is October 19th, for Rise of the Resistance, which is probably the most popular attraction at Disney World right now, that one is $15 per person for the individual attraction pass on that date. That could go up or down depending on the season, just like your hotel rate and your ticket rate can go up or down depending on the season. Whereas some of the other, ones that are still popular rides, but they're not that level of attraction, those might be $7 per person, $9 per person. So you have a great variety depending on what rides you're talking about and what season you're going to be traveling.
And you don't have to purchase the Disney Genie add-on, or Disney Genie Plus. You don't have to purchase Genie Plus to purchase individual advanced selections, correct?
No, you don't. Those systems are completely independent from one another. Yeah.
And the Disney Genie Plus is how we get access to the Lightning Lane.
Well, Lightning Lane, when you purchase those individual attraction passes, you are purchasing the right to go through the Lightning Lane at that attraction. You can still try to ride that attraction through the standby line, but to access its Lightning Lane, you're going to have to purchase that individual attraction pass.
So Genie Plus and we got to abbreviate individual attraction, selection?
Let's do a la carte. Let's say a la carte.
A la carte. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Genie Plus and the a la carte options can both get you access to the
Lightning Lane, just at different attractions. You have one group that's included in that $15 per day, and then you have another group that's so exclusive and popular that they have their own pricing. Yeah.
And you, as my travel agent, you can help me add on the Disney Genie Plus to my package.
Yes.
But you cannot help me add on the a la carte options. I have to do those myself.
Yes.
At the time I'm there.
Yes. And what we can add on for clients is access to that system, okay, for their length of ticket. Okay. So if you only want Disney Genie Plus for one day, you're going to purchase that through the app. Okay. You're booking your passes, your Lightning Lane passes through the app yourself, no matter what, because that's something that has to be done by you on your vacation the day that you're going to visit that park. So that's not something that a travel agent would be able to set up for you in advance, because it's something you have to do once you're actually there and you see the options that are available.
But actually just getting access to the Disney Genie Plus, you can help me with that.
Correct.
And give me some advice about what to do when.
Yeah. And just like, we can add on a park hopper upgrade to a ticket, or we can add on Memory Maker to a package. It's that type of upgrade.
So basically what I'm getting here, if you're slightly confused as to what this system will and will not do, it might be advantageous for me to consult the help of someone who spent substantial amount of time today learning all about this from Disney World themselves, correct?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yes. And it's free to you to do that, which is even a better thing into the bargain there for you. Well, one thing I did not cover, virtual queues. This was a question that I got from someone before we started the video. Virtual queues for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. Those are still those are not going away as of right now. because of Disney Genie. That's kind of an element of the standby line. That sort of is the standby line for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure right now. So you have two options with Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. You can either try to book a boarding pass, which is essentially you trying to get into the standby line, or you can purchase that individual attraction pass. So it's kind of like a chance versus you can purchase a guarantee to be able to ride it. But you're going to pay for that. So, one option doesn't cost you any extra. The other option does. You kind of just have to weigh how important that is to you. But virtual queues are still in existence as of right now. Again, everything with Disney is always a fluid situation. And so it could change in the future, as could the rides that are included with each of the different tiers. But that's the information that is up to date as of right now today.
And as those changes occur, you would be the person that would have that information for your clients, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Excellent. Yeah. We have 4 questions that have come in.
Okay.
Robin asked a very good question. She said, do you have to pick a time for the Fast Pass ride or the Lightning Lane like previously?
You do, yes. You are picking a specific arrival window.
So you get to pick a window, and then you get to arrive anytime within that window.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're eating lunch somewhere, if you're eating lunch, you said Smuggler's Run is part of the Genie Plus system, correct? Mm-hmm. Yep. So if you're eating lunch at Ronto Roasters right there in mm-hmm. Galaxy's Edge, then okay, I got this amount of time to finish eating, or I can eat in this at this and then get over there in that window. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sam asked a good question. He said, do you have any stats or data for Lightning Lane wait times versus normal standby?
Not yet, just because they haven't utilized this system. We can try to look at fast passes in the past, but that's not going to be a perfect comparison because everyone had access to fast pass and most people took advantage of that. Whereas here, not everybody is going to buy into this paid system. So we don't really know yet what that's going to look like.
And this system starts later this month. Is that correct?
October 19th is the official launch date. Yes.
So I think I made a banner for that. So
yeah,
there we go. That's good to know. And Sam, I think that's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
And just so everybody remembers what Sam's question was, I think that's a great question. And I think that would make an excellent YouTube video to put on our channel. And so when we
might have to do that when we go down in December.
Absolutely. Yeah. We are going, when we go in December as a family, we are going to test that out. And so I'll take the hit. I'll stand in a standby line if I need to, and we'll see how much faster it is. That's an excellent. And then you could add on layers to that. Like, well, what about individual advanced attraction select? That's so many words. The a la carte. What about the a la carte? Is it faster for that?
Yeah.
How much faster? Obviously it'll be faster, but how much faster?
Yeah. And I know with Fast Pass, it was about Fast Pass was cut your wait time down by about a third to a half. But again, we don't know if that'll hold true with this. We'll just have to kind of wait for data and then we can figure it out.
Robin asked a very good question. She said, do you have to be in the park to purchase the Lightning Lane ticket or pass?
So this is one of those things where when you can purchase it, it kind of depends. So you don't have to be physically in the park. Okay. But for the individual attraction selections, that a la carte system, if you are an on-site guest, you can purchase and book that at 7 a.m., which is before park opening at all the parks. If you're an off-site hotel guest, you can book and purchase it after park opening, but you don't have to be physically inside the park in order to do that. So there is an advantage for on-site resort guests when it comes to those most popular attractions, because you are getting earlier access to that system to hopefully book a time that's going to work best with your schedule.
So does that apply? Because I'm sitting here thinking if Magic Kingdom normally opens at 8 a.m., that hour there is going to be a very important hour.
It's a very important hour. Yeah.
If this also applies to Epcot at 7 a.m., Epcot hasn't been open until like 10 a.m.
10 or 11. Yeah, lately.
So that's 2 to 3 to maybe even 4 hours. If it's 7 a.m. still, that's a big window for you to be able to take advantage of. That's a huge perk. People ask, what's the perks of staying on site? That is a huge perk.
That is a huge perk. Yep. Although still, in my opinion, the greatest advantage to staying on site is convenience. And I think that's the thing that we tend to undervalue the most, but I don't think you can overvalue the importance of convenience, especially if you're traveling with children like we are. So yeah.
Louder for the people in the back. Like that is 100% right on the money.
Yeah.
And Marcia asked, for those rides that are only selectable on a daily basis or a la carte rides, do you need to get up at 12:01 a.m. to get the best rides at the times that you want to ride?
So you cannot book those at 12 a.m. The earliest they could possibly be booked would be 7 a.m. for those individual attraction passes. In fact, that's true for the Disney Genie System too. You can purchase the Disney Genie System for the Disney Genie Plus system for the day of your visit at midnight, but you can't actually book anything until 7 a.m.
And Sam said, thanks, guys. Maybe we'll see y'all there in December.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
That's right.
It'd be good to see you, Sam. That's cool. And just so everybody knows, we'll be down there this week. Obviously, this system won't be available yet.
No.
But we'll have some videos coming for you from this week and then on the channel. And then we have a updated Grand Floridian Resort Tour coming. We're going to be able to get some resort tours while we're down there, Saratoga Springs and Old Key West. So that'll be exciting.
We're going to try out the brand new Steakhouse 71 at the Contemporary, which I'm super excited about.
Breakfast there on Thursday. So we're very excited about that. So we got a lot of good stuff coming for you. I think that, there's so much info around this particular topic that we talked about today that we also will make in the coming months. We will make a video that details out on the screen, like the graphics of these are the Lightning Lane or Genie Plus available attractions for each park. We just didn't have that today because Ginger literally was on the conference this morning. So we haven't had time to make those graphics yet. And so we will make those and we'll create a video about Genie Plus that has all those on the screen for you. And that'll come in the not so distant future as well.
Yeah. And if you're one of my clients already and you have a trip booked for after October 19th, just know that you are going to get an email very soon. I'm going to be working on that, later today, up until the time that we're supposed to leave to go on our trip. But I'm going to get that email out hopefully today at the latest tomorrow, just kind of talking to you about your options if you want to add Disney Genie Plus to your vacation, and giving you, your window of time in which that has to be done. This isn't something that's going to sell out. So, Disney Genie Plus is never going to sell out for any given day, just like park hoppers, aren't going to sell out for any given day. But, there is some stuff to consider in terms of what your overall park plan is, and is this something that you would get the greatest value out of it? So we want to make sure if you do have a trip coming up that we kind of talk about that together and help you make your decision in time for us to be able to add on that to your package if you're interested. So if you are my client, you are going to be getting more information via email either today or tomorrow. All right. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I know that we gave a whole lot of information in a fairly short period of time. But again, that's what I'm here for, is to understand things like this and to try and help break it down for you as much as possible. So if you are my client, look for that email, or if you have any specific questions that I didn't answer, feel free to shoot me an email or a text message and I will be happy to get back with you. And if you're interested in planning a trip, again, you can visit my blog at GingerMMT.com. And in the upper left-hand corner, there is a get a free quote link. Do we have another comment come through?
We had one more. So Marcia said, excellent information. She said, thank you so much. We will be down there in February. Yeah. We are still deciding dates. We'll let you know. You did an excellent job for us last time.
Oh, thank you so much. I enjoyed planning for you. Thank you again, everybody, for watching. And I hope you have a magical day.